What's up, guys? My name's Rye, and welcome to Bull City Speed and Customs. Why are you watching this right now? Why are you staring at my ugly face? Well, if you are anything like me, then you love cars. You eat, sleep, breathe everything to do with automobiles. Looking cool, going fast, anything to do with it, then you're a lot like me. And if you're a lot like me, you search the internet constantly looking for just to kind of scratch that itch. You can't be out here doing it. Maybe you can't afford to do it. Maybe you don't have the means to do it. You want to watch somebody else do it. And that's what I'm here to do, because then you're just like me. I've been told for a long time by a lot of people that I should really document this stuff. I wish I did a better job, because I've built some what I think is pretty cool stuff over the years, and I really haven't taken care of like the documentation side of things as far as tracking progress. It's usually like, hey, here's a piece of crap, it's really boring, and then when it's done, like, ooh, I built this, it's really badass. Wouldn't I love to go back and look at the day-to-day progress on how those creations came to be and share those with the world? And that's what I'm doing. For a long time, I've been making excuses as to why not to do it. I don't have anybody to film it for me. I don't know anybody that can edit it for me. I don't have the means or the time to do any of this stuff. Well, I'm tired of making excuses for it, and that's what this show is all about. So what are we building right now? Right now, my current project is my good friend Matt's 2004 Mustang Cobra Sonic Blue. If you are a die-hard Ford guy, you might want to shut it off now. Or stick around and troll me in the comments. Please, I'd love it. Because that is not a modular motor, that is not the Terminator motor. That is an LS motor. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you guys. In a legit 2004 Mustang Cobra. What's the rundown on it? Gen 4 iron block, F-body drive on the front, stock 317 heads, heavily ported, some stainless valves in there, custom cam by Little John's Motorsports for twin turbos, a Holley high ram intake, 210 pound injector. It's going to be ran on E85. We're going to run the whole thing on MS3 Pro Ultimate, direct from DIY Auto Tune. Shout out to them. It's going to have a lot of badass features on it. It's going to be very much a street car. It's going to be a 6-speed, maybe. It's going to be a manual. It's going to have 3 pedals in it, one way or another. Not sure if it's going to be a T56 yet, or if it's going to be something a little bit more radical, like maybe a Lenko, Jericho, Liberty. Who knows? We'll see. Depends on how much power it makes, I suppose, and whether or not the owner really wants to go fast, or if he just wants to do a lot of roll race. So you're probably wondering why does your garage look a lot like an enclosed trailer? Well, it's because it is an enclosed trailer. This is a 26-foot enclosed trailer that I had to borrow from a friend because due to my full-time job, I got sent away from home. Kind of on a deadline with this car, and so we had to get it done. I called in a favor and said, hey buddy, can I borrow your trailer? Thanks, Chuck. So I loaded up the bare essentials in here. Pretty much everything I can do without having to weld in here or fabricate anything. I'm farming some stuff out that I usually would just do myself, but because of the location that I'm at right now, I just don't have the capability to do it. We're ready to kind of start final assembly on the twin turbos. All right, so first things first, what are the twin turbos? I've already pretty much fit up all the hot side parts on this, and you got the whole kit bolted on the car. I took it off to go have some stuff finish welded. These are eBay headers. I know a lot of people are gonna cringe at that. We decided to roll the dice on them and see what we would get for our money. For 160 bucks, something like that, shipped to your house. They're not terrible. We're gonna kind of give them every fighting chance that we can to survive without cracking. Eventually I'm gonna build some braces on them on the car to brace and support the turbo. So this isn't all the weight isn't on top of this. The other thing we did was I cut them and moved them back, because if you talk to some people on the internet about these, they put them way far forward. I don't know what car they were initially done for. It's almost like they were done for a boat. Outside of a boat, like a jet boat, I don't know what the hell they would work on. Anyway, but if you cut the flange off and then pull them back, they work pretty good.
So you can see with this, we got the AJE K member. What I can't really show you is I've re-drilled and moved the motor back as far as it will go. This is literally shoving the intake up against the firewall. Once we put the transmission in there, build the training mount, it should push that back end of that thing up a little bit. If not, I can massage this back here to get a little bit of clearance on there. So then, like I was saying, if the motor was all the way forward with those turbo headers, it puts the outlet like right here, pretty much in the radiator or right behind where the headlight would go. And that sucks. It means you can't get turbos on there. Now there's an old school trick to putting headers on that if you have a kind of gasket like the old gaskets, like these ones, these kind, some people like them. I used to like them on my Mustang when I had a Ford motor in there because they're really easy to replace. Like individual ports, when I would launch, I'd blow header gaskets all the time. Anyway, the trick is usually you can cut the hole right here on either end, and what you can do is you can then put your header up against the head, then you put a bolt in the front, and you put a bolt all the way in the back, and then with the header on there, you can just slide this in. That way you don't have to struggle trying to line up three things: header, head, and gasket, and then try and fight a bolt in there. But with these multi-layered steel, laminate, whatever you want to call them, gaskets, you can't really do that. I mean, you could with a pair of tin snips, but it makes real sharp points on it. And honestly, it's really not that hard to line all this stuff up. This is the part where I try not to drop a header on my phone. So if there's any Mustang guys still watching at this point, even after I told you that this is a Chevy motor, do yourself a favor and get a tubular K member. It drops a ton of weight off the front, and it actually makes working on the car a joy. It's a breeze to get in here and change plugs, tear stuff down, build stuff up. I mean, man, I wish I had done it years ago, even with a Ford motor. It was fantastic. So, if you have a Ford and you want to work on it a lot, get a tubular K member. We got the headers installed. Like I said earlier, we did cut the V-band that was on there off and then push it back as far as we can go. One thing you have to pay attention to is on the passenger side, the head sits further back than the driver's side on the block, just because of how they're laid out, symmetrical or whatever. And with that, this side I cut, just pushed it all the way back. It was the first one I did, tacked it up, and then what I realized was I cut too much off, and there was no way I could make this one go as far back, because to offset the head being back, they added distance in the primary. So you can see collector to primary to head angle. On this one, the primary starts right at the head, or excuse me, collector. So should have done this side first, cut it back, and then matched this side up, but I didn't. Is what it is. So this side ended up being like a ½ inch, I think, or 3/4 of an inch further forward. But really, when it sits in the car, you really got to look for that to see it